gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah.
Best believe we ain't gon' play with you. We the prophets of the Most High. We out in these streets with these scriptures. We preach and teach, repent or die. I ain't give it up for nobody. Not my mother, not my father, not even my wife. Bible told me be strong in the Lord. I'm at cat full battle mode, yelling that's right. I ain't never been weak, nope, not my type. Got war wounds, Bible bruise, still my fight. Got my own issues, Lord, make the way light while I swing my sword at Esau's light. This is my time, so I got to do right. Do it to the end, and the price is my life. Do all I can do and do all for Christ. He gave me my lamp, and my lamp gon' shine bright in the day of the night. And if you ain't trying to hit, cool. Your boy Esau, he gon' get this too. Read a couple prophecies, I'm about to falling real soon. Isaiah 14 on his tomb, but we out here for you, the biblical Jews. Blacks and Hispanics and Indians too. Bringing out the Bible, cause the Bible be the proof. There's a war going on, and our weapons the truth. You can trust that. We gon' shut this down. Iuic in your town. That's right. Couple hundred boots on the ground. When you hear that war cry, don't be scared of the sound. Prophets are back that they cannot confound. Children of Israel's identity found. Trust in the Lord will not let down. Pray to the east, hit camp, cry loud and know that
we gon' shut this down.
That's right.
We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah.
We gon' shut this down, yeah, we gon' shut it down. When them Israelites come to your town and your city in the streets, yeah, you know boys going down. And you don't want this battle, boy. Now I'm telling you, you don't want this battle, boy. Got Christ in attendance who's dwelling within it, so them lies that you teaching gon' get handled, boy. But let's change gears for a second. From the tribe of Judah, so you know our brother reppin'. Sabbath day relaxing, brother pass that unleavened. Got them fragrances and Murray, yeah, you know you smell the fragrance, got my Bible by my side. Bishop going in, so you know I'm gon' scribe. All my brothers with me making up the 12 tribes. Got a brother in the spirit, you can't kill my vibe. And oh, I just can't wait until we see them gates. 144 standing strong, oh Lord's will, I'm up in the place. So I'ma stay up on the path, cause keeping these laws is the answer. Oh, in the space of an hour, the Lord gon' give the other nations for our ransom. Oh, so to hell with your emotions. Righteous see we provoking, using the words that's spoken from Revelation to the book of Moses. Oh, yeah, we gon' shut it down. Yeah, we gon' shut it down. Yeah, he gon' shut it down. Make it way for the chosen.
We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah. We gon' shut this down. We gon' shut this down, yeah.
feel when I got a premonition. If I make it to the north, picking cotton, they gon' miss it. Yeah, my master gon' be heated when he find out that I'm missing. Sick the dogs on my heel, turn this dream into real. Yeah, grab a couple taters and I throw 'em in the sack. Hardtack, it's a corn that's gon' keep me intact. When I make it to the north, I ain't never coming back. If I'm caught, then I fight to the death. I ain't tripping, no sweat. Anything is better than slavery. Death by the noose, yeah, it's better than slavery. You're a wild nigger, yeah, that cracker try to tame me. I'm a freeborn, never meant to obey thee. Stay focused on the goal, I got a ways to go. No sleep for 2 days, I got a ways to go. Keep your ears on alert, it'll save your soul. Keep my eyes to the north, that's the way to go. Let the North Star got me on my way. When I start to doubt, yeah, I know that's the way. Tryna find my freedom, yeah, I know that's the way. They gon' kill me dead if I can't get away. Let the North Star got me on my way. When I start to doubt, yeah, I know that's the way. Tryna find my freedom, yeah, I know that's the way. They gon' kill me dead if I can't get away. Running through the woods, I ain't got no time to stop. If I stop, then I'm dead. I just pray I don't get lost. There's a house over there, gotta get these chains off. Gotta wait for the light to go off or I'm caught. Hey there, brother, don't you snitch on me. I ain't from around here, don't you snitch on me. Turn the other way, I give my word to leave. I'm just trying to make it to a land where I'm free. Back on the run, make up time I waste. I pray they don't catch up to me. Sprinkle pepper when the dogs they sniff, they sneeze. River coming and I don't second guess how deep. Run, 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 run. Let the North Star got me on my way. When I start to doubt, yeah, I know that's the way. Tryna find my freedom, yeah, I know that's the way. They gon' kill me dead if I can't get away. Let the North Star got me on my way. When I start to doubt, yeah, I know that's the way. Tryna find my freedom, yeah, I know that's the way. They gon' kill me dead if I can't get away.
I want this forever, yeah, ooh, want this forever, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. We've been through the trials, we've been through the flames. This what true love requires, and I ain't gon' play no games. This is worth it, yeah, it's worth it. This is worth it, yeah, it's worth it. Through the ups and downs, you'll never change. And we got issues, I'm the one to blame. You gave me everything, I cannot complain. You gave it all to me, but look what I became. I feel like I'm worthless, oh, I don't deserve this. And I got many flaws, you make me perfect. I want this forever, yeah. You are my treasure, you made me better. I want this forever. We've been through the trials, we've been through the flames. This what true love requires, and I ain't gon' play no games. This is worth it, yeah, it's worth it. This is worth it, yeah, it's worth it. Them don't wanna see me and you. For this, try this, them I pursue. Them can't come separate me and you. I'm a change man, I'ma stay true. I want this forever, yeah. You are my treasure, you made me better. I want this forever. We've been through the trials, we've been through the flames. This what true love requires, and I ain't gon' play no games. This is worth it, yeah, it's worth it. This is worth it, yeah, it's worth it. When trouble comes, we'll endure them all. With you by me, I'll never fall. You give me the strength I need to carry on.
take your place. You're the only one. Yeah, yeah. I want this forever. Yeah. You are my treasure. You made me better. I want this forever. We've been through the trials. We've been through the flames. This what true love requires. And I ain't gon' play no games. This is worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. This is worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. I want this forever. Yeah, ooh, want this forever. I want this forever. Yeah, ooh, want this forever. This is worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. This is worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
At first 70 souls, now the sand seas. Still in need of a savior, still royalty. Still suffering as a slave, no equality. This 9 to 5 taskmaster still pressing me. Still abundantly increasing in captivity. Chains rotting the bones, but now these chains are spiritually. Still abundantly increasing in captivity. Chains rotting the bones, but now these chains are spiritually. Moses saw an Egyptian smiting the Hebrew. I seen a couple hundred on the 5 o'clock news. Moses saw an Egyptian smiting the Hebrew. 2 dead bodies lifeless hanging by a noose. Homie, I refuse to walk this life in 2 left shoes. Walk around in circles, shucking jiving just for your amusement. Now I'm seeing what amusement. The truth will set you free in the end. Blank canvas, ground sweat, barrel smoking, mothers crying, no son, life stolen. Castro, Central Bland, tapes rolling. Biggie Smalls and Tupac, who they know this. 3/5, get a bait, protesting, Emmett Till, foot sore, no resting, burned alive. Jim Crow, your oppression, prophecies came alive. Lord save me.
Passover, Passover, Passover. Take me from this captivity. Passover, Passover, Passover. Take me from this captivity.
Only known oppression, drowned in my depression. Don't weigh the coat so my emotions revert to aggression. I'm just a bottle in the smoke, I'm full of frustration. I've been in search of a purpose, in search of a nation. I stretch my hand up to my papa, cats, but he's a ghost. Cause Willie got him weak, like that lion on the yellow road. Boy out in chains, but he would never know. I think I say this for my nation, think the kite's flown.
Captivity been on my mind for too long. I've been blind with the truth. I see these signs, afflicted, crying for deliverance time. When will this torment be over? Do Lord, oh Lord, pass over. Up the hill we pushing a big boulder. Bronx and bricks and Kingston to one over. Work no receiving with the careflex. Work no receiving with the careflex. No safe sex even with the latex. No safe sex even with the latex. No progress even with the protest. No progress even with the protest. No progress even with the protest. Lord, how much longer? Hey.
Passover, Passover, Passover. Take me from this captivity. Passover, Passover, Passover. Take me from this captivity.
Out of the 18 nations upon the earth, the Lord chose one. Today he left a sign upon that people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Cursed in this city, welfare, yokes of iron, ghettos, bloods, crips, children ripped from their hands, immigration laws serving a God whom you knew not. In that place is where he said again, he will but this last time pass over, and deliver them from their pain,
Passover,
and deliver them from their sorrows.
Passover,
Passover.
Passover. Take me from this captivity. Passover, Passover, Passover. Take me from this captivity.
Growing up in samples, constantly tested, ghettos rat infested. Mama's always stressing, it's another mess. And find out she pregnant, another baby mama possibly molested. Who gon' pay for this hurt? We always feel it. Blood in the sink, probably on the brink. Devil around the corner, another dead body. Every time I blink, Jacob the seed, forced to believe that he less than. By the dragon seed, I know that's kinda deep, but he the as an ear, let him hear me. Gonna be a sight to see. They gon' know that Christ the King. Everything ain't what it seems. Keep the laws and the faiths and be redeemed. I'ma let the beat sing. Woo! I'm back at it. Spit straight facts, I'm a fully automatic. Keeping God law, got the heathen mad at you. Speaking uprightly, yeah, you know they gon' hate you. Entering the straight gate if you a believer. You gotta enter in the straight gate if you a believer. Read that.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go in thereat.
Straight is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Every minute that go that, but not me. Every minute that go that, but not me. Straight is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Every minute that go that, but not me. Not me. Every minute that go that, but not me. Look alive, look alive. If you tired of the lies, it's a lot of pain in the Israelite eyes. Gather together and they should not desire. Fire and water at both of my sides. Only one person can go at a time. If you got keeping these laws on your mind, you gotta be separate, you gotta cut ties. Cause there's a lot of hell out here. Yeah, bullet shells out here. All we do is spell out here. Yeah, it's a smell out here. That be them dead bodies that just walk in the street. Uncle Sam gotta rock them to sleep. Strong delusion got them weak on their feet. They don't even know the 7th day of the week ain't Sunday. Treat this every day like Monday. Rolling blunts in hoes and gunplay. That's all a nigga know, but one day, gotta know one day. You gotta pay for them actions. The Lord gonna weigh all them actions. It's safe to say I ain't just rapping. The scriptures say keep the commandments, just keep the commandments and keep the commandments. It's so redundant to the 12 tribes. James 1 and 1 of them next. Jacob see he don't know another. How you love the Lord, but you hate your brother. When the Bible out, better let it talk. Through that straight gate, yeah, you better walk. Oh, it's body bags, yellow tape and chalk. Want eternal life, don't break the law. Let's go. Straight is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Every minute that go that, but not me. Every minute that go that, but not me. Straight is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Every minute that go that, but not me. Every minute that go that, but not me.
He gave us straight commandments on what to do, avoid punishment. He gave us straight commandments and all I do is admonish him and admonish them and let them know that they gon' get by. If they don't get by, key commandments is you can stay alive.
So I gotta prophesy, boots to the ground, eyes to the sky. All my people ask why. All the pastors do a lie, cause he don't know we gon' fry. Just living out times, and he ain't teaching no laws. That's why he gotta die.
Hey, cause he ain't keep commandments, so he ain't got no understanding. Psalms 1:11 and 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. I'm cutting them up with my spiritual scissors. The lake of fire predestined for sinners. Every new moon we gon' go up and see him for rejecting the word. They didn't want to hear him.
Isaiah 66:24. Never heard it, brother, now you know. All them sins gotta let them go. All that light gotta let it show. All that light gotta let it glow. Rain, sleet, hail, let it snow. Prophesying to the wind, better let it blow. Gotta let you know. Straight is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Every minute that go that, but not me. Every minute that go that, but not me. Straight Stuck in that first quarter, never known order. Unless it was a court order. Now you point the finger at your father. Cause he never bothered. He never took time to know you. You never known him. Maybe you known him. Maybe he was there the whole time in your corner. Damn. Relationships now these days sound like a random replay. But who gives a damn now these days? Will they acknowledge their own iniquity to turn away their captivity? But they don't know they're in captivity. I'ma return to my place until they acknowledge all of their offenses. Now meditate on that a minute.
We are the children. Yeah, we are the children. Look at our condition. Them curses revealing. Straight out the wilderness. Moses was with us. We shouldn't listen. We shouldn't listen. We are the children. Yeah, we are the children. Look at our condition. Them curses revealing. Straight out the wilderness. Moses was with us. We shouldn't listen. We shouldn't listen.
Depending on a nation that cannot save us. Trusting in the shadows those who hate us. Yeah, you are a nation inside a nation.
Hey, shalom, shalom, family. Most High Christ bless. Hey, those of you on Facebook, if you can hear me okay, just put a yes or so. Just want to make sure that the audio is right. I had a sister. She asked if we were low. It says no volume. Test. Okay, they say yeah, they can hear me okay. I'll appreciate that, Vincent. Yeah, he said we good. He said we good. All right. Hey, so let me read this real quick. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus 5:1. All right? He said it could be a little louder, though. You'll turn it up on the... Yeah, he said it's too low. Very low, very low, very low. All right, give it a second. We're turning it up now. Test. What about now? Yeah. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Yep, they say still too low. Should be the top one over there. Yeah, just go ahead and turn it on up. Any better? Any better now? All right, let me see what they say. Still low? Still low now? All right, so they say we should be good. All right, because I know, oh, it says sound good. We good. Sound good. Sound good. Sound good. Tracy say better. Good deal. Good deal. Hey, so, like it does say, cause I know Sister was asking, hey, this is the 4 chapters with Iuic 365. Today we're going to circle back because we had skipped a certain portion of it. So we're going to circle back to Numbers. We're going to do Numbers chapter 7 through 10 today. We're going to do Numbers 7 through 10 to make sure that we go back and catch that. And then I think next week they'll pick up think we'll pick up again back at I think verse 19 in Numbers. So we should be good. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started with it. Numbers chapter 7 and verse 1. It came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had anointed it and sanctified it and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed them and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Lord, 6 covered wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen, and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari, according unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. But unto the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belongeth unto them, was that they should bear up on their shoulders. So, like it stated, that all of them had, that all the leaders, all the princes of the Levites, they had to give, they had to actually do sacrifices of the different tribes. And when they did so, but when it gets down to Kohath, he have gone, because the service of the sanctuary belonging to them was that they should bear up on their shoulders. Let's see what that's talking about. And he read it a little while back. So when it says that they must bear up on their shoulders, that's Numbers 4. Go to Numbers 4, and we'll go to, let's see. Yeah, we'll start at we'll read 2, and then we'll jump down a little bit. So Numbers chapter 4 and verse 2. Take the sum of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi after their families by the house of their fathers. Then we're going to jump down. It says in verse 4, This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation, about the most holy things. And when the camp setteth forward, Aaron shall come, and his sons, and they shall take down the covering veil, and cover the ark of testimony with it, and shall put thereon the covering of badger skin, and shall spread over it a cloth wholly of blue, and shall put in the staves thereof. So that's what they had to do. So they had to, then Aaron and them, they would come and take down the veil and cover the ark. So then it jumps down. Let's see what it means when it says they must bear it. So verse 15, and when Aaron and his sons have made an end of covering the sanctuary and all the vessels of the sanctuary, as the camp is to set forward, after that the sons of Kohath shall come to bear it, but they shall not touch any holy thing, lest they die. These things are the burden of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation. So they were in charge of carrying the tabernacle to and fro. And we'll definitely read a little more of that once we get on down as to where they was moving around. All right, so then we'll jump back over to Numbers chapter 7, and we'll read I think we'll pick up at verse 10. Verse 10. So it says, And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offering before the altar. And the Lord said unto Moses, They shall offer their offering, each prince on his day for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil, for a meat offering. And when it just says charger, that's just talking about like a plate or a platter or whatnot. And then, of course, everybody know what the bowl. All right, verse 14. 1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. And on the second day, Nathaniel, the son of Zuor, prince of Issachar, did offer. He offered for his offering 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 spoon of gold of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nathaniel, the son of Nuor. On the third day, Eliab, the son of Helon, prince of the children of Zebulun, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering. 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliab, the son of Helon. On the fourth day, Eliezer, the son of Shadeur, prince of the children of Reuben, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliezer, the son of Shadeur. On the 5th day, Shalumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, prince of the children of Simeon, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shemuel, the son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, the son of Duel, prince of the children of Gad, offered. So as you can see, it's going through each tribe, and they're all offering the same thing because this was the order that they had to do. So verse 42. And on the 6th day, Eliasaph, the children of Duel, prince of the children of Gad, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, a silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. On the 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Duel. On the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Immahud, prince of the children of Ephraim, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elishama, the son of Immahud. On the 8th day offered Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, prince of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering. All right. And verse 56, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. On the 9th day, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, prince of the children of Benjamin, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, prince of the children of Dan, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Okron, prince of the children of Asher, offered. His offering was 1 silver charge, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Pagiel, the son of Okron. On the 12th day, Ahira, the son of Anan, prince of the children of Naphtali, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Anan. This was the dedication of the altar in the day when it was anointed by the princes of Israel. Why the heck am I keep on saying Egypt? Sitting up here just reading that thing the other day. 12 charges of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold, each charger of silver weighing 130 shekels, each bowl 70. All the silver vessels weighed 2,400 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. The golden spoons were 12, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece, after the shekel of the sanctuary. All the gold of the spoons was 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offering were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12, with their meat offering, and the kid of the goats for a sin offering 12. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offerings were 24 bullocks. the rams 60, the he goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar. After that it was anointed. And when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of testimony between the two cherubims, and he spake unto him. Now, in verse 89, when it says, and when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, that is actually going into the fact that he went in there to speak to the Most High, to speak to God. So let's get that in Exodus. We'll go to Exodus. I'm talking about let's get it like I'm not reading it. Exodus 25 and 22, just to show that that's what God said he would speak to him at. We'll jump up to 21, matter of fact. Exodus chapter 25 and 21. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. And then that actually says, and that actually goes into the Most High speaking in verse 1, like it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses. So when Moses went in there to speak to him, that's talking about he went to speak to God. All right? So now we get into chapter 8. So chapter 8, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, when thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. And Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlestick, as the Lord commanded Moses. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold. Unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof was beaten work. According unto the pattern which the Lord had showed Moses, so he made the candlestick. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And thus shalt thou do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shalt thou take for a sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord. And the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks. And thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto the Lord. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Now this has been read before, so we're going to definitely touch back on it real quick. As to when the Most High said, thus shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And then we get to when we get down to 17, it'll explain that. In 15 it says, and after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for an offering. So the Levites was given the charge to do the service of the tabernacle at this time. So, well, actually, it's before, you read it before, but we're going to read as to why it had to be written that now the Levites must do it. In verse 16, for they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel have I taken them unto me. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. So he's saying in verse 16, instead of it being the firstborn of all the tribes, now he's just making it clear again, which he's done in multiple spots, that the Levites will now perform the office of the service of the tabernacle. So we'll get Exodus 13. Get that real quick as to what it was before, and then as to why it's changed. So Exodus 13 and verse 1. And it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both man and of beasts, it is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten." So when you read in verse 2, that actually says that all the firstborn of the children of Israel, of all the tribes, would do the office. But then when you get in Numbers 8, it actually says in 16, even instead, what it says, instead of such as open. So instead of it being all 12 tribes, the Most High picked one, which was the tribe of Levi, to perform this office. All right? So then verse 18. "And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel, when the children of Israel come nigh unto the sanctuary. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according unto all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is it that belongeth unto the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. So at the age of 25, that's when they began to do the service. So up until that point, they wasn't allowed to do the service in the tabernacles. But it said, and I think it was Captain Zakar actually said that or mentioned or brought it out when he was doing his reading, that there was a certain age and when you did the service of the Levite in the tabernacle and when it stopped. And so it started at the age of 25. Verse 25, from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof and shall serve no more. So then it stopped at 50 years old. 50 years old, they stopped. So it went 25 to 50. Verse 26, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shalt thou do unto the Levites touching their charge. All right? So now chapter 9, because I know if I'm reading too fast, y'all let me know. I know I read fast sometime. So hey, make sure they say I don't read too fast. But yeah, it's a lot of reading in these two chapters right there. All right, chapter 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season, in the 14th day of this month at even. So we all know, as we've read coming up to this point, that we do Passover at the 14th day at even, which is the 15th day. It's the 14th day at even. So then we all know we keep that in the first month of the year. But we're going to read down as to why they're going over this again, because there's an issue that came up that they were discussing that they want to talk with Moses about. So verse 3 again. In the 14th day of this month at even, ye shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof shall ye keep it. So there were certain things that they had to do on the Passover as well. They had to sacrifice different things. They had to do different things according to the ceremonies and the rites of it to make sure that they did everything in their office in the for the congregation in the sanctuary, in the tabernacle. Verse 4. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month, at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. So these men were not able to keep the Passover because they were defiled. So they wasn't allowed to go in, to go in with the congregation. So, and the reason why they said they were defiled, we'll go back and read that, matter of fact. Let's get that as well. Numbers chapter 5 and 2. Numbers 5 and 2. So this was read as well. So it says, matter of fact, 5 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel that they put out of the camp every leper and every one that have an issue, and whatsoever is defiled by, and whosoever is defiled by the dead. So they could not come with the camp. They had to be without the camp. All right. So that's why they said they were defiled. And so this right here is what happened in, now we go back to Numbers chapter 9 and verse 7. 9 and 7. So then it says, and those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel? So they're asking the question like, we were defiled. So are we to not be able to keep, to keep the Passover the proper way, to be able to make our offering in its appointed season? Since we are defiled, we couldn't go in and make our offering, Moses and Aaron. That's what they were saying to him. So then this right here is what they did. In verse 8, and Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. So you still must keep the Passover, but let's see when. So you still must keep the Passover. Just because you traveling super far and you may miss it today, a lot of us drive trucks. A lot of us have different work, jobs, and stuff we can't get off. But that don't mean you neglect keeping the Passover. It just gives you a different day to do so. In verse 11, it says, the 14th day of the second month at even they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. So that's when you would do it, the second month. That's when you would keep the Passover. So if they were defiled like they were with the dead body, or traveling afar off, those were the reasons that they were given. The two reasons where if they were defiled or traveling afar off, that was the only way that they could miss that day, that they could, not keep it at that appointed time. They had to do it the following month. All right. So in verse 12, they shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any bones of it. According to all the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean, so now it's finna get to that person that like to make excuses. It's finna talk about that person that like to make excuses. You know what? Yeah, I just couldn't do it. For whatever your reason may be, you're not defiled, you ain't traveling far, you just ain't gonna do it. So it says, but the man that is clean and is not in a journey, and forbear to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. So you can't make, they couldn't make excuses back then, or they will be cut off. Likewise today, we can't make excuses when the high holy days come around, and you are definitely trying to get out of it because of whatever your excuse may be. If it's not according to the Bible, if you're not, like it says here, if you're not traveling super far, you try to get the day off work, hey, you do what you do. You know what I mean? You can't do it. That's captivity. So everybody understand that. Most I understand that. But you should keep it that second month. You should keep it that second month if it's possible. All right? Verse 14. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord, according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. So even the stranger that was among us, like the officer was reading last night, they had to keep the laws just like we did. You know, they was not getting no pass around us. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land. And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up in the cloud, covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony, and at even there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire until the morning. So when it says, and at the top of the verse, and on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle. So let's find out what that cloud was. Let's find out what that cloud was. Go to Psalms 104 and 3. I believe that's where we going. Yeah. That's it. So in Psalms chapter 104 and verse 3, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So, you know, all this stuff popping up these days where everybody's seeing these chariots pop up and everything like that, that's what was over top of the tabernacles. That's what was there. You know, that's what was there. So now let's go back to Numbers 9. And we're going to find out what the chariot / cloud was doing. All right. So Numbers chapter 9 and verse 16 now. And so it was always, the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after that the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their tents. So whenever the chariot was over top of the tabernacle, that's where they stayed. But when that chariot took off and moved, Israel got up and followed it. The same way that it led them across the Red Sea as well. Let's go to, matter of fact, Exodus 40. Exodus 40 and verse 36. Let's see. Yeah. Exodus chapter 40 and verse 36. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward in their journeys. All right. So it said the same thing back in Exodus. We're just revisiting it right here in Numbers. Verse 18 and verse 9. Numbers chapter 9 and verse 18. At the commandment of the Lord, the children of Israel journeyed, and at the commandment of the Lord they pitched. As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents. And when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and journeyed not. So whenever the cloud was over the tabernacle, the chariot was over the tabernacle, the children of Israel did not go on a journey and just go and do their own thing. Wherever that chariot went, that's where they went. Where the cloud went, that's where they went. Verse 20. And so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of the Lord, they abode in their tents. And according to the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. And so it was, when the cloud abode from even until the morning, and the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed. So whenever it moved, they moved. Verse 22, or whether it were 2 days or month or year that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents and journeyed not. But when it was taken up, they journeyed. So it didn't matter how long or how short that the cloud was over the tabernacle, that's where they sat. That's how they knew this is where they needed to stay for right now. This is where they pitched for right now. And then when the cloud took off and left, that's where they went. They went and followed after. All right. Verse 23. At the commandment of the Lord, they rested in the tents. And at the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. All right. So that's the end of chapter 9. So now we're going to get into chapter 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly, and for the journeying of the camps. So now they had to make 2 trumpets right here. So in verse 3, and when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but 1 trumpet, so remember they had to make 2. So now there's rules on how they use them. Just like I can't remember who brought it out before, but there's a certain way that we had to blow the trumpets back then to call that the Levites blew the trumpets then to call the whole congregation or just the leaders or to let everybody know we going to war. There was different ways that we had to blow the trumpet. All right, verse 3 again. And when they shall blow, verse 4. And if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes, which are heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee. And when it talks about the heads, we read that back in Numbers 7 and 2. Those are the heads of the different tribes and the leaders. All right, verse 5. When ye blow an alarm, when the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward. All right, so it said, when ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward. So, matter of fact, the ones that was on the east, that was Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Matter of fact, that's in Numbers 2. Let me grab it real quick. Little time, I guess. Numbers 2, and let's get, yeah, there you go. Numbers 2 and 3. We'll do Numbers 2 and 3. And it says, and on the east side toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. And Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, shall be the captain of the children of Judah. And the host and those that were numbered of them were 314,600. We'll jump down verse 5. And those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar. All right, then we'll jump down to verse 7. Then the tribe of Zebulun and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. And his host and those that were numbered thereof were 57,400. So those were the 3 tribes that was on the east. So whenever it was, so like I said, whenever they blew the alarm, those were the 3 tribes that moved first. And then in Numbers chapter 9 and verse 6 now. The 10 and 6, Numbers 10 and 6 now. So it says, when ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. So when they blew it the second time, and whenever they blew it for the alarms, it was like real short bursts or whatnot, as it says, or whatnot. At least it's kind of notated here. And the ones that was on the let's see, south side, there was Reuben, Simeon, and Gad. And that's also in Numbers 2, starting at verse 10. Numbers 2, starting at verse 10. And if you read down, that's where it lists that Reuben, Simeon, and Gad, they were on the south side. Verse 7. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. That's how it lets you know that it must be a different tone or a different way that you blow the trumpet, which is a little longer than the short alarm burst. It's going to be a longer sound, letting everybody know that this is when you come. You know what I mean? So that right there says, but when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. So that alarm or whatnot, we're not supposed to do that. It's different types of the way that we did it. In verse 8, and the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generation. And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. Now that right there, that's a heavy statement right there. But as we get into it, like it says, because as they was marching and as they was going through the wilderness, they eventually, as you read on in the chapter, they're going to come up against multiple nations, their enemies, and they are going to blow their trumpets and all that good stuff. They're going to destroy, and Most High is going to destroy them. He's going to remember them and destroy them as long as we are keeping the commandments, as long as they are keeping the commandments. But to prove also as to we had to blow the trumpets a certain way, let's get a 1 Corinthians 14 and 8. 1 Corinthians 14 and 8. And this right here. Let's see, man. This thing hard on my turn when you just by yourself. Good. All right. Yeah, that's it. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 8. So it says, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, meaning if the sound is unclear, like if it was back then and it was unclear, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So whenever it was a certain sound, they let everybody know, look, it's about to go down. It's time to go to war. But it says, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, meaning it was an unclear noise, nobody knows what that means. They walk around like, shoot, I guess ain't nothing for me to prepare for. I'm good. I'm going to sit right here, or we going to go gather. You'll have people trying to gather instead of going to war because the sound is uncertain. So that's how you know that there had to be a difference in the way they did it. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to battle? All right. So we'll go back over now to Numbers. Numbers 10. Where I stop at 10? Yeah, start at 10. Good deal. All right. Verse 10. Also, in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days and at the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and offer the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God. So not only for just the gatherings, not only just for, going to war, but we also blew them in our feast days and our days of gladness. Days of gladness. So, like it says, whenever we keep in our feast days, even to this day, it must be a glad moment for all of us. We can't be coming to the school, coming to congregate with your brothers and sisters, and you like they were. Hey, that's one of the reasons why we went into captivity, because we were not glad to do what God said. That's one of the reasons as to why. So in our gladness, and like it says, and in the beginning of your months, I know we went over it a lot. Over the years, so we'll just get the beginning of the month. Just get the, let's see. I think I'd rather go there first. Let's do that real quick. Just touch on it. Sirach 43 and verse 6. We'll start there, I guess. Do that real fast. Is that the one I want? Yeah. So we'll start there. In Ecclesiasticus chapter 43 and verse 6, he made the moon also to serve in the seasons for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So the moon is used as a sign to declare the time and the seasons. And it says, from the moon is the sign of feast. And it said, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. So it is a new moon when it is a full moon. It said it is a light that decreases. I know the leadership have went over this multiple times, so I ain't gonna harp on it. And then it said in verse 8, and it said, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully and a changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So like it said in verse 7, it is a light that decreases. And then in 8, then it increases. So that lets you know the cycle of the moon. You know what I mean? So as it starts bright, decreases to where it's black, and then comes back to being full. And when it's full again, that is the new moon. So like it says in Numbers chapter 10 and verse 10, it says, also in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass on the 20th day of the second month, in the second year that the cloud was taken up from off the tabernacle of the testimony. So now it's giving us on the second month, on the 20th day, the chariot, the cloud, it went up and it was taken off the tabernacle. All right. And when it says, yeah, so we'll read on verse 12. And the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. Matter of fact, go back to 11. When it actually says in the second year, the cloud was taken up from off the tabernacle of the testimony. Now, of course, you know, Bishop, he's brought it out multiple times, so we'll touch it just in case. You didn't write it down then, you can write it down if you go back and listen to this later or whenever you get a chance. But Psalms, we can go to Psalms 132 and verse 12. Psalms 132 and verse 12. And it actually says, if the children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon the throne, ever upon thy throne forevermore. All right. And then it also Psalms 119. Psalms 119 and verse 138 also. It goes with the testimony as well. It said, thy testimonies that thou hast commanded, because the testimonies is the commandments. Thy testimonies that thou hast commanded are righteous and very faithful. You know, so like it says, whenever we read that Psalms 19:7, it is not our testimony, it's God's testimony, it's God's laws that we must teach. That's God's laws that's going to change the people, not our testimony, not our testimony at all. All right, so Numbers chapter 10 and verse 12 again. And the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. And they first took their journey according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. In the first place went the standard of the camp of the children of Judah. So this, when it says the standard, that's their banner, or like you know how we hold them. We got them all in our schools with the different flags of the different tribe, similar to that. All right. So it says the standard of the camp of the children of Judah according to their armies. And over his host was Nahshon the son of Amminadab. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel the son of Zeur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab the son of Helon. And the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari set forth, bearing the tabernacle. And the standard of the camp of Reuben set forward according to their armies. And over his host was Eliezer the son of Shedeur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph the son of Duel. And the Kohathites set forward, bearing the sanctuary. And the other did set up the tabernacle against they came. So what they're doing, when they're moving, like it says in verse, when it says in verse 11, is letting you know who would move, like who's getting up and taking it with the armies, because the tabernacle would be set up before all the whole congregation, all the 12 tribes would get to where they're going. The tabernacle would be set up before they got there. And then in verse 22, and the standard of the camp of the children of Ephraim set forward according to their armies. And over his host was Elishama, the son of Ammihud. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamliel, the son of Bedezer. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidan, and the son of Gideoni. And the standard of the camp of the children of Dan set forward, which was the reward of all the camps throughout their hosts. And over his host was Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Okran. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira, the son of Anan. Thus were the journeys of the children of Israel according to their armies when they set forward. So that just gave you the different order of the tribe of when they went to war, of how the armies, whenever they got up to move, that is the order that they were in. All right, that was the order they was in. Verse 29. And Moses said unto Habab, the son of Reguel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto the place of which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good, for the Lord has spoken good concerning Israel. And he said unto him, I will not go, but I will depart to my own land, to my kindred, and to my kindred. So this right here is Habab, which is Moses, pretty much, you know, this is Moses' brother-in-law, matter of fact. And he's telling him to continue to go with him, but he's like, no, I'm gonna go back and be with my people. All right. Then it says in verse 31, and he said, leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as thou knowest how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and thou mayest be to us instead of eyes. So he's pretty much telling them, look, you stay with us, you can at least be our eyes, you know what I mean? Probably knew the land or whatnot. You can be our eyes, as to see where we're going to encamp, because this land right here, because we got to be in the wilderness, and you would know this place. So he's saying, don't leave, just stay for that reason. In verse 32, and it shall be, if thou go with us, yea, it shall be that what goodness the Lord shall do unto us, the same we do unto thee. And so, that's what he did. That's what he offered him anyway. That's what he said, because he wanted him to stay. So, and the reason why he said that is in verse, matter of fact, Leviticus in 1934. Leviticus 1934. Yeah. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 34. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So he was pretty much wanting to treat him as one of us, as a brother. Look, whatever we get, you gonna get. That's what he was telling him. That's what he was telling him. All right, and that was why. In verse 33, and they departed. Matter of fact, Numbers 11:33. And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey. And the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in the 3 days' journey to search out a resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by day when they went out of the camp. And it came to pass, when the ark set forward, that Moses said, rise up, Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee. And when it rested, he said, return, O Lord, unto the many thousands of Israel. So whenever the cloud would take off and go on those 3 days journey, that's what Moses would say every time. It said, and it came to pass when the ark set forward that Moses said, rise up, Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee, because the Most High was fighting our battles. He was actually winning our wars. It wasn't just because we were a great nation that we were defeating the other nations. It was because God was with us. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that. Psalm 68, I think. I think that's what I want. Psalm 68 and 1. Yeah. All right. Psalms chapter 68, verse 1. Let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. So that's what Moses was saying. That's what he was praying that would happen. Let the enemies, be destroyed. The Most High fight our battles, that we be in peace. All right. And then in verse 36 again, like it says, and when it rested, he said, return, O Lord, unto the many thousands of Israel, because we were a great nation. The Most High brought us out of Egypt and we had multiplied and made us a great nation. So, I know that was pretty fast because there was a lot of reading. But are there any questions on what we read today? Any questions on what we read today? Anything? feel like it's probably gonna be delayed a little bit. No question? None. What time you got? What time is it? Oh, heck yeah. Class, I think the other one's supposed to start at 5. All right. Numbers 10 and 30. Numbers 10 and 30. Let's see. Numbers chapter, matter of fact, read that real quick. You got your mic?
Yeah. Numbers chapter 10 and verse 30. And he said unto him, I will not go, but I will depart to mine own land and to my kindred.
No, actually, we didn't give a precept for that one, but that's just pretty much saying that Moses' brother-in-law, Habab, he's just saying that he's gonna go back. He's going back to his family. That's all that's saying.
Will we have to have the entire culture down packed before the second coming of the Most High?
That question is not according to the reading. But like I said, all of our people, 2/3 of us will be cut off. So all of us ain't gonna be doing what God said when Christ come back. Okay, so she asked as to why we don't have to do the sacrifices no more.
Yeah, sister said she has somebody listening with her and asked, could you please explain why we don't have to
Yep.
sacrifice animals,
Real quick, Hebrews 10.
obey the other laws?
Right, Hebrews 10, really fast. All right, we're gonna get straight to the point. Matter of fact, yeah. All right, go to verse 5.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 5. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world,
When it says when he cometh, that's talking about Christ. It said when that's talking about Christ. So when Christ comes, read on.
he saith, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not,
So he told us not to sacrifice. Read on.
but a body hast thou prepared me.
Because Christ was the ultimate sacrifice. Read.
In burnt offerings and sacrifice for sin thou hast had no pleasure.
The reason why I didn't have any pleasure was because our people, our minds were not changed. Our minds would not change whenever we were doing the sacrifice. Because remember, even the leaders of the tribes, they had to sacrifice a certain animal for the sins. And so it said that those things, there was no pleasure in them. There's no pleasure in them. Read on.
Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God.
So Christ said he's written in the volume of the book. You can read about Christ throughout the whole Bible. Read on.
When he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offerings for sin thou wouldest not, neither hadst pleasure therein, which are offered by the law.
So those things, he said that there's no pleasure in them. And just read on real quick this last verse.
Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O God, that taketh away the first, that he may establish the second.
So that's why Christ had to come, to take away the first, that he may establish the second. So we don't do the sacrifices anymore, because that office of the Levites and things like that, Most High did not have any pleasure in them because our people, we were not made perfect, like it says in Hebrews, and I think it's 10 if you jump up to 2 and 3. Matter of fact, 1 on down, matter of fact. And that's why it says that. So we don't do the sacrifices anymore, and we don't have a tabernacle today to even do them because you had to do them at the tabernacle. We all scattered all over the place in captivity everywhere, so we are not able to do those things. Even if you over here in America, but we can't get over there to Jerusalem and do our sacrifices in our temple. We don't have it.
All right. Sister said, is stranger mentioned in Numbers 9 and 14 also refer to unbelieving family?
No, that's not necessarily unbelieving family. That stranger there is of another nation that was among us. I think the officer even brought it out last night or yesterday when he did his reading, that the strangers, even the strangers among us, they had to be as we were. Matter of fact, it actually says that. Go back to, where is it? Is there another question while I'm looking for it?
Yes, it is.
It's in 8. It's in chapter 8, I believe it is. Or is it 9? No, 14. Numbers 9 and 14. It said, and if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land. So everybody had to keep the commandments, even the other nations that was among us.
Another sister said is Leviticus 19:34 for the verse. I'm assuming that she meaning Numbers 10 and 32. Basically asking us that precept together. I'm assuming that's what she's asking.
32, and she said Leviticus 19.
19 and 34.
She said of 32. Yes. That's why Moses treated his brother-in-law that way. Anything else? That's it? You ain't going to answer questions.
Yes.
Say what? That's it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's it for now.
Well, hey, well, all praise to the Most High that that y'all got to tune in today. Lord willing, y'all were edified. And just continue to tune in to all the different teachers and the different readings that's coming out. It definitely helps build my spirit up. Lord willing, it helps build y'all's as well. And so, hey, my name's Officer Aton out of Columbia, South Carolina. And Lord's will, everybody tune in tomorrow and stay in the spirit, man. Stay in the spirit. Hey, shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom.